haters, you ain't poppin'. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin', nigga. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin'. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin'.
And welcome to another episode of
FanKingHaters,
your weekly fantasy show where we dish out hate on them busters and punk mother
shut your mouth.
that keep you out of the green and then mess up your FanDuel DraftKings lineup. I'm Marcus the Greek. To my left is Melodic. To my right, Messiah the One. So we're gonna jump right into it this week. Who you hating on, Melodic?
This week I'm going to go with Lamar Miller. 2.6 points, 2.8 points.
I had him on my personal fantasy, so I feel
Yeah,
like
horrible. Miami just did horrible all around this last week. The Jets put it on them. There ain't much I can say about that.
I'm gonna go with my, it's still my favorite whiskey, still my favorite Blue Eye Soul, but he played like some clam chowder. What's his name? Jamison Crowder. He didn't show up against the Giants like I thought he would. 2.2 points. My zero streak was finally ended, so I appreciate that. But yeah, Jameson, I'm done with you. Not to drink though.
Did you get him that Wilson jersey?
Oh, the Westbrook
jersey.
Nah, I didn't get the Westbrook jersey.
No, zero.
If he would have been zero for the rest of the season, I might have to go ahead and
Just man, who you hating on?
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. My triple dip went all right. Barnage, McCown, and Benjamin did well.
Okay.
McCown went out with a broken collarbone, but he still ended up with 13 points. My triple dip got 45
That's
points.
not bad.
But my hate of the week is gonna go to Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll talk highly of them. They got me double digits in a couple of weeks back to back. This week they came up short, got me 3.
They kind of hit or miss like the offense sometimes.
Yeah, so I take it like a grain of salt. I'll pick them again this week, and hopefully that they give me some points.
Okay, look, I was gonna say that too. I was gonna say that myself because they was off last week. They hit or miss. They gonna be on this week. Right. Speaking of being on, who you rolling out this week?
I'm gonna start off this week with Fitzpatrick at the Jets.
The bearded man. Okay.
Yes, sir. I think he has 2 major targets in the receiving corps.
Yeah.
Ivory's been running good. They're playing the Giants.
Yeah, Giants defense don't look too
They're
hot.
horrible. You saw last week there's a vulnerability in the deep ball.
Yeah.
So you can look for one of those 2
big
targets.
receivers.
To go down there. Marshall.
Yeah. Or Daniel. Either one.
Easy touchdowns. I'm going to roll Tampa Bay, Doug Martin. I'm going with them against Atlanta. They ain't very good either. I got Allen, Baltimore's running back. The backup that came in after Forsett went out.
He looked good.
Balling.
He did look good. He looked real
Tuesday,
good. Balling.
Who'd you pick?
Allen.
Allen for Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buck.
Right.
Call me Buck.
Yeah, now I'm going with the double dip with Aiken.
Okay.
Baltimore receiver, one of the main targets. And then I'm gonna go with Robinson and Decker. I'm gonna double dip with the
quarterback.
Decker.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
see that.
They both been getting
Double,
throwing and catching touchdowns every game. So
Well, you all remember the stat that I brought out last week. Aaron Robinson every game this season, but 2 in double digits, and he got me double digits again last week.
Yeah.
right. And then with the tight end, I'm going with Rudolph. Everybody knows Seattle sucks against tight ends.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to go hopeful wishing right there.
Right.
Okay.
And if Heath Miller didn't get knocked out of the game, he would have ended up like 20 catches because he had 7 in the first quarter.
Right.
Yeah, he was balling.
With my kicker, I'm going with McManus. I think after the win last week, the team has more faith, fans have more faith. Osweiler will be starting the rest of the year. I think they will be in field goal territory if they don't get a touchdown.
And he made
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked
Oh,
good.
yeah, okay, yeah, so there we go. So we will definitely be in field goal range. And then with my defense, I'm going against the Titans. Or, not against, I'm going with the Titans, against the Jags.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a good matchup. They seem to be, not the best teams in the league right now. But they always battle against each other.
That's true. It's usually a good game.
Yeah.
Are they in the same division?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, that's going to be a good division game. That's a good pick.
And that's what I'm wrong with.
For me, I went with one of the dudes who I think is probably one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the game. And a lot of people will laugh when I say his name and they might snicker at it. But
Kirk Cousins.
not Kirk. But if you played receiver in college, then they move you to quarterback.
Tannehill.
Yeah, and if you were good enough to get drafted in the NFL, you must be pretty athletic. So I went with Tannehill this week.
All right.
They're playing at home. The dude usually throws 2 sixers, 2 or more sixers. That's 2 or more TDs at home. So I'm rolling him out there. I went low, bought low for my running backs. I went with the no names this week.
Okay.
I went with Stephen Drone, or Drone, however you say it.
San Francisco.
Yeah, 49ers running back. He's the lead running back. He's getting all the touches. He's not sharing the rod.
Against Chicago.
Going against Chicago, very bad rush
Right.
defense. So I'm throwing him out there. Then my other running back, I went with Buck too. You know, people jumping on the Buck train. I'm gonna jump on the Buck train too. And then after Buck, my receivers, since I went low with my running backs, I figured I'd go all in with my receivers. Every week we talk about trying to get in that green.
Right.
So I went with AJ Green. You know, last time the Red Rocket played Indianapolis at home, I think he had 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I can see that happening again.
But the key to this is that 1, they're playing against the Browns. 2, Austin Davis is starting.
Right.
3, he's playing in the daytime. You got 3 good things going on.
So good Andy to show up.
The good Andy will show up in the daytime game.
So my other receiver I went with Antonio Brown. You know, London Clock.
Yeah.
London Clock is money at home, and he on a roll. Big Ben is money at home.
Yeah.
And he seems to be rotating big games with his receivers. Brian had a big game last week, so I'm just hoping this rotation around it'll be Antonio's game, you know. And then, you know, my theme, I'm going matchups, just playing matchups, doing the analytical thing this week. So with my tight end, I went the same route with Julius Thomas.
Okay.
You know, they going against Tennessee. Tennessee has a horrible defense against the tight ends. I think they give up the most receptions, second most TDs, something like that. And then for my kicker, I went with the dude's name we can never pronounce right, Catazano, something like that.
Casario.
Yeah,
Casario.
whatever, man. It's a division game. I'm sorry we can't pronounce your name. Think you're going to be doing good. Then for my defense, I went with the hoodie. The hoodie going against Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly thinks he's the hoodie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He thinks he's the hoodie.
But he's not quite there.
He's not quite there, and I think the hoodie shows him, look, you're just a young Padawan. You're not a Jedi coach like myself, man. We're gonna put you in your place. So I'll go with the Patriots against the Eagles for my
makes
defense.
sense.
So who you rolling out this week?
Well, you know, you went analytical on I just said, hey, I'm going to be the wild card.
Okay.
So I went big with my quarterback. I went with Tom Brady.
Hey, T1000, man, can't go wrong with T1000.
You know, hey, they're going against Philadelphia.
right?
I'm
5
saying,
touchdowns 2 weeks in a row.
why not? If
Right.
Jameis Winston could do it, I think Tom might be able to squeeze out without Gronk, without all his receivers. I think he could go out there with me as a receiver and put up some points. So I'm fine with that. So then I went running back. I decided that this lineup, I wanted to have some dreads in my lineup, so I went with D'Angelo Williams.
All right, I hate dreadheads though. But anyway, that's a different story.
I went with D'Angelo Williams and I went with Chris Ivory. So I got.
Oh, look, you
I
guys
think
are
it's a good
all
pick.
dread team.
Williams, if you're on,
hate.
you're on. If
You're
you're on,
gonna
you're
hate.
on. With D'Angelo Williams, if you're on, you're on.
You saying that might be his hate next week?
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Going against Indianapolis, I may say.
I'm just saying.
It could be. But hey, that's why I'm a wild card.
Hey.
At receiver, I went with Chipmunk, Mike Evans himself.
All right.
I went with Mike Evans. I don't think it's a bad pickup.
Nah.
Going
No,
against
it's Tampa
ATL.
Bay.
They're playing against ATL.
Yeah.
ATL is struggling, and their defense hasn't been strong all year.
I agree with that.
I went with Sammy Watkins. I went matchup. I still don't think that Houston.
Sammy went crazy in the rain.
He
You
did.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In the rain. So it's not a bad
And what
pick.
I'm feeling about this is that Houston's looked good the last few weeks, but they have not seen a mobile quarterback. There's really no such thing as a mobile quarterback in the NFL,
Yeah,
but
right.
Tyrod Taylor.
Okay.
Tyrod is going to sit in the play. He's going to get behind the defense. Houston still is Houston, regardless if they're being in playoff contention in
Right.
a weak division.
15, 20 yards out, Houston.
Yeah.
is off you, so you can make some catches.
Right, and then you know, Matt Shaw didn't look too bad, and I see that he's looking for Aiken, so I went with Aiken.
Right. Okay.
Now this right here might throw people off, but my tight end, I went deep. Dude had 11 targets last week with all the injuries. I went with Chandler as my tight end.
Okay.
I got Tom Brady. I think Chandler's going to be that X
double dip for sure.
And my kicker, I went with Gano. I think that, you know, Cam's going to keep them boys in the end zone going against the Saints. The Saints defense is still the Saints defense. And with my defense, I went with the Patriots. I think Mark Sanchez is going to give me a couple of interceptions. I think Tom Brady's going to be part of the defense. And Philadelphia just can't cover anybody.
No, they can't. And they can't keep up.
Exactly.
The only thing with your kicker, it's happened to me. They score and he only gets 1 point.
True.
So if they keep scoring, he's only going to earn 1 point.
He over here.
But you know what though?
He's low key.
Low key.
No,
it's happened to me. It happened to me. I'm just saying, they scored 4 touchdowns. He kicked 4 field goals.
That is true. And you know what? You know, if you really want to know the truth, I'm gonna say it right here.
I'm just saying.
Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. But even when I'm wrong, I still could be right. All I'm saying is the Saints still got Drew Brees. There is a possibility this could be a game that could really surprise a lot of people.
Yeah.
They're the last undefeated team, and most teams that have been losing the undefeated teams are losing to teams that they shouldn't lose to.
Hey, man, don't listen to that.
I'm telling you, if you want to bet, put $100 on New Orleans.
That's what you calling for the week?
Yeah, I'm calling.
And North Carolina going against Clemson. I'm just telling you here first. +6 North Carolina. I'm not condoning gambling, but hey,
we are on FanDuel and we are doing the show about weekly fantasy and hey, we're compulsive gamblers.
Right.
Like we told you last week, $1 billion industry, you might not like us, but somebody you know might like us. And if you do like us, continue to watch us. Thank you for pressing play. Hop of that going.
got to give a shout out. Got to give a shout out to Mr. Gilmore. Mr. Gilmore, man, appreciate you being a weekly fan, keeping up with us. You know, hey, what's my man's snacks called?
Purpose snacks.
Purpose Snacks. Get you some. If you don't know what they is, look them up.
Instagram.
What's that again?
Instagram.
Instagram. Purpose Snacks. And if you don't get it, hit us up on Twitter. We'll get the information for you. Thank y'all for y'all time.
That's it, y'all.